What's good, everybody? What's up? I'm back. It's your guy again, Deverell Davis, and I'm here with my WWE SummerSlam 2019 review. If you didn't see my last video, which I threw out yesterday, about my predictions and rumors and stuff like that, go back, watch that. Come back, watch this review, or whatever, whichever way you want to do it. But I just want you to see how many I got right and how many I got wrong. Let's tally up the scores. I got pretty much every match right except for the last, not even the last two, except for two of them. One I got wrong and one was inconclusive, so I can't even score that inconclusive one. And I think you all know what I'm talking about if you've seen what happened at the SummerSlam. If not, you're just watching this video to get the review and to find out what's going on, and I'm about to hit you with that. If you hear noise in the background, don't worry about that. That's my dishwasher. Just totally ignore that and focus on what we got to talk about today. So now all this is a little messy in here in front of me. This is my fantasy football stuff, so don't even worry about that. We don't talk about the review what took place in SummerSlam. So let's pre-show. I didn't watch the pre-show. Actually, I didn't even watch this live. I didn't watch it while it was happening. I watched it after the fact, after the show was over, so I had to avoid a lot of spoilers and stuff like that. I had to watch it taped after. And didn't for some reason WWE don't like to show the pre-show whenever they show this thing back over to you, and it just bugs me. But not a lot happened on the pre-show from what I understand. One prediction I had was Gulak, which was one of the 10 confirmed matches, Gulak retaining his title, and I did get that correct, so that's 1-0 right there. Next pre-show match was inconclusive. It was Buddy Murphy versus Apollo. That match got interfered with by Rowan. Obviously, he came there to smash him, tell him keep my name out your mouth. Some real like snitches get stitches type shit. So basically, it's kind of like they forward in the storyline between the Roman Reigns, Buddy Murphy, Rowan, and Daniel Bryan. A lot of figures in this, and they trying to, I don't know, maybe it might go to a tag team. It might be a tag team of Daniel Bryan and Rowan versus Buddy Murphy and Roman Reigns, or somehow Samoa Joe's connected into this. So they didn't do anything. My rumor was that they was going to do a Roman Reigns match on SummerSlam, the second biggest show of the year, their biggest star, but they didn't have him on the show. And they didn't have even Daniel Bryan, which is one of the top 5 stars in the company. So, all right, every star don't have to be on every show every time, so I get it. It makes sense now, but that's as far as that storyline went in the show last night. Next match I think they had was the women's tag match. Iconics got their rematch. Excuse me, I'm a little tired. Worked the overnight job doing this before I go to bed. But Iconics came in there, got their rematch, even though there's no automatic rematch. They got a rematch against Alexa Bliss and Cross, and basically they lost. So no titles change hands on the pre-show. And my prediction was throughout the whole show, only one title was going to change hand. And in actuality, only one title changed hands. So that's I at least predicted that right. Let's see if I predicted the right title. So first match of the night, crowd started off hot. Toronto's always one of the best WWE crowds, period. One of the best wrestling crowds in the world. Very smart, very much into it a lot. Very vocal. They're right there with Philly, Chicago, New York, and other, New Orleans is starting to become a big wrestling hub too. So, all right, Becky was the first one out there. Natalia, music hit. She got a nice little pop. Of course, she's Canadian. Went as predicted, Becky winning. Crowd was hot for this. Crowd, nothing much more. I mean, it was a good match. It was a submission match. Everybody traded submissions. Natalia did her Becky's disarmer. Somebody's texting me. And what they call it, Becky did the figure 4 and all this other stuff. So, let's other than that, it was pretty much a standard submission match, and it went well in my opinion. I think Becky, as I predicted, got the W. So moving on to the next match. Now I didn't expect this to be so early, and I think it was a it was a good call. You put that little squash in between two real matches. You put the squash in between, so they went to Goldberg and Ziggy next. Goldberg came out there, squashed him. The way it started, Ziggy had a lot of mic time tonight. Before the match started, he had mic time. After he got squashed the first time, he got mic time. After he got squashed the second time, he got mic time. After he got squashed the third time, I think his mic time got cut off. But Ziggy came out there, talked a little mess. Goldberg came out there. Ziggy hit him with the sweet chin music out of nowhere. Like quickly, he took a step back, boom, hit him with the sweet chin music. He was rocked. Fell down. Ziggy fell on top of him. Did a 1 count, and Goldberg threw him off. Hit him with a kick again. Boom, another 1 count, threw him off. That's when Goldberg just got up and speared him, and then jackknife powerbomb, and that was it. That was the first one. Then Ziggy got in the mic, said, blah blah blah. That was baby shit or whatever, and called him back out. He came back out. After he went down the ramp, came back out. All he did was spear him again. Then Ziggy again got on the mic and was like, "Yo, that ain't nothing." So Ziggy just was the sacrificial lamb. He got 3 massive spears, 1 jackknife powerbomb, and he got the squash match and made Goldberg look like a beast again. And that's what Ziggy gets paid for. That's why he gets paid $1 million a year, to be the enhanced talent and be the best seller in the business. All right, so now to the third match, and it was kind of paced well so far. The Becky match first, the squash match. Now we go into a real match, AJ versus Ricochet. Now you chances are, hands down, if you had to ask 100 people, 80 people would say, so 80% would say this is supposed to be the match of the night, and I don't think it failed to deliver. Ricochet's a freaking animal. He's a beast. Even what supposedly he was playing that he had a bum knee, and on one leg he freaking did a jump off the top rope on one leg, did a flip, did whatever. I don't even know the names of these flips, but he did a flip on AJ. It's just Ricochet is just probably the best athlete in the game. Then he did this on Anderson and what's his name? Anderson, the Good Brothers, and Gallows. Perfect placement. Anderson jumped on Ricochet jumped on Anderson's shoulders, stepped on his shoulders, then stepped on Gallows' shoulders, then jumped off of Gallows and then caught AJ for Hurricanrana. I never seen no shit like that. That shit was amazing, and the crowd, rightfully so, acted in shock and awe for that, and that was kind of awesome spot. The ending was great in my opinion. Ricochet went for a flip, and AJ caught him into the Styles Clash, and that was it. It was 1, 2, 3. AJ retained, and I was correct about that one also. So far 3-0. Actually, make it 4-0 because I predicted Gulak beating the other guy in 205. All right, so they have a few skits in between these matches, which I want to talk about a little bit too. The Street Profits there after this match, and pretty much they're not gonna fight in the main roster. They're just there to hold the NXT titles. And Ric Flair came out, and Ric Flair did a little cameo. Of course he's gonna be there because his daughter's fighting another living legend. The 24-hour, the only thing they did for the 24 hours, which was kind of dope in my opinion, they had R-Truth and Carmella play like they were like British announcers, when it was showing all the foreign announcers and everything. That was kind of dope. They was in costume and everything. Then before that, the New Day introduced the fake Drake because they're in Toronto, so they had to introduce some type of Drake, and when Drake was Drake Maverick, and dressed up in hip hop attire and everything. So it's kind of funny. It's like, they kind of intertwined everything. Then Drake, the fake Drake, went out there looking for the 24-hour title and everything, and Carmella and them, and it was kind of dope. It's kind of funny. Nice touch. I like that. I like those little. I'm not really a fan of these skits. They're kind of cringy sometimes, but these three skits kind of hit the nail on the head. For some reason, I didn't get it. What's his name? Clue me in if I'm missing something. But Xavier Woods was dressed up like Stevie Wonder. I didn't really understand what that was about. But if you know, just let me know what that's about. So moving on to the next match, and this probably became the bathroom break because so far the crowd got up for the Becky match, Natalia, Canadian already. Then the Styles match was dope. Then the Goldberg match was just a squash and everything. So now here's a little bathroom break, unfortunately, and it falls for Bayley and Ember. And my prediction on this was Bayley. Go back, watch my prediction videos. I don't got a lot of views on it. I need some more. Go back and watch it and see if I'm correct. I had Bayley winning. And this was a hard one for me to call, but Bayley did retain. As far as I can say for that, she did an awesome Bayley to belly off the top rope to end the match, and I think that's a good way to finish it. Excuse me. Good way to finish that match. Good way to end it. Good way to bring it home, and they did. And not much more to say about that. The crowd was dead for it. They wrapped it up quick, maybe less than 10 minutes, and that was expected. Now moving on, the crowd back up the roller coaster ride that they're on. The crowd went back up for KO versus Shane. KO, of course, a hometown favorite, a Canadian favorite. Let me see. So we had a little Elias, Mr. Elias came and he was the secret enforcer for Shane. So he was outside the ring most of the time in a ref's uniform while the ref was in the ring and everything. And he pretty much was preventing Shane from getting beat up outside the ring. Maybe doing a little bit of interference here and there, antagonizing Mr. KO. Oh, quick fact about what happened prior to the show. Elias also made an appearance before that. He came out there and does his usual spiel about Bad Mountain, wherever he's at. So he's talking about Toronto and Kawhi and all this other stuff. And I think after that, another legend showed up, and it was Mr. Edge, Toronto's own Edge. He came out there, and guess what he did? Now, mind you, it's been like over 10 years. No, 8, 7 years, maybe 8, 9 years since he took his last bump. About 8 years in the game since he took his last bump in the WWE because he can't take it no more because of the possibility of having paralysis. He speared the crap out of Elias. So it's awesome kind of seeing, take me back a little bit seeing him doing that spear, but that's pretty awesome. And that was on the pre-show. It'd been better served on the regular show, but I get it. It's getting the crowd hyped, getting the crowd ready. So going back to that KO Shane, good match. Shane Elias played his part well. KO did his thing. Of course, being hindered a little bit. Ref got knocked out. KO went to use the chair on Shane. He was kind of stopped by the ref, and when the ref turned to put the chair outside the ring, that's when KO went and kicked Mr. McMahon and the Family Jewels, and then hit him with a stunner right after that. 1, 2, 3, they took it home. But before that, he laid Elias out with a chair on the outside to prevent Elias from interfering anymore. So that was the gist of the match. It was a standard match, and KO is not going to be retiring from the WWE. He's going to be with us Still. All right, moving on to the next match, which was Charlotte versus the living legend Trish Stratus. Now, Charlotte came out first, and the crowd might have been dead from the KO because they had to break this up. They shouldn't have went back to back with Canadians. They had to spot this a little bit differently. You could have went with Natalya and Becky to start. That's a Canadian. Boom, went All American. Then boom, All American again, and then maybe put the KO before the Bailey. You know, so you're not doing two Canadians back to back. So it took away from Trish's entrance because when Trish came out, she was introduced after Charlotte. It was flat, and I was way surprised. I was so surprised for that. It was just dead. Crowd was dead. Crowd was in their hands. They were kind of It took them a while to get back up. Like I said, it's that roller coaster. They sitting there for hours. They probably already been there 4 hours already. So they really didn't. They really didn't give the hometown. And she's from Toronto. They didn't give the hometown hero its due upon entering the arena. It's not till she showed and proved. I don't know if they doubted that she would have a good match with Charlotte. Charlotte carried her. Now, another thing, too. When they were standing face to face, Charlotte was right here. Trish was right here. The size difference was amazing. It looked like Trish was fighting a dude, to be honest with you. No offense, Charlotte, but it was just like, it was the height difference was crazy. So, the match was way better than I mean, it was good. Charlotte carried her a little bit. She had a little ring rust, but other than that, her athleticism, that figure eight she put on Charlotte was amazing. Was incredible. I mean, I wish I was sitting in the front row, like in a certain angle, so I could see more things than everybody else got to see. But Trisha's looked great. Then she did that little thing she does off the top rope, flipping Charlotte, and then she did the Stratisfaction. It was amazing. It was awesome. Then the crowd got more into it, got more live, got more with it and everything. And of course, Charlotte took it home, hit it with the figure eight. She tapped out, and pretty much when she tapped out, that was it. They knew this was her last match, and everybody gave her the round of applause. Gave her at the end. They cheered her. They had the chance of this is awesome and everything throughout the match. So it was. At first, I was like, wow, the crowd didn't even acknowledge her as much as I thought they would. But at the end, they did when she was leaving, knowing this is the last time they would see her in the ring as a competitor. So that was kind of awesome. Good match. Not disappointed as much as I was at first when she was first introduced. All right, now, there's a lot of controversy behind this one. I personally... I'm a huge Randy Orton fan. I wasn't a big Kofi fan. I like Kofi. He wasn't in my top 5, top 10 guys I like. He was a guy I liked, but not like oh yo, this is I gotta watch his match. Like if his match is on and I'm cooking or something or doing something else, I'll just probably continue cooking and doing something else. Before he became so riveting this year. I'm just only keeping it real with you. If it wasn't him in the Royal Rumble, for the whole year, I wouldn't pay attention to Kofi till this year. Randy Orton, though, on the other hand, even though he's methodical, some people call him Randy boring. His matches are a little boring. He does the same moves. Guess what? All your favorite wrestlers do the same move. Shawn Michaels does the same moves. Bret Hart, who's my all-time favorite, does the same moves. One of my all-time favorites besides Bret Hart is Chris Jericho, does the same moves. John Cena, 5 moves right there. That's all he does. Stone Cold, one of my all-time favorites, same moves. Roman Reigns, same moves. And Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, same moves. Everybody has a move set that they're going to go with, and they have certain times they're going to hit it at certain moments. So yes, Randy does that. It might be a little bit more deliberate with him because he's more methodical. So it might be a little bit more deliberate and you'd be like, hey, this guy does the same shit. But guess what? He does tell a story in the ring sometimes. His look is great. He has probably the best finisher ever in the RKO besides the Stunner. So, and you know it can hit at any moment. So you're just looking, you're really watching Randy Orton match to see when he's going to hit that RKO and how he's going to hit that RKO. So I do look at Randy Orton matches. So everybody else was like down on the build up for this match. Yeah, I wasn't watching SmackDown as much, and the build up wasn't as smooth as it should have been. But I did look forward to this match and the history that they had in the past with Randy holding him back and all this other stuff. So I did want to see this. All I have to say is the finish was so remarkably weird. First, they were outside the ring, and I don't even think it was 10 seconds, but the bell rang. You know how many times people are outside the ring 20, 30 seconds, 40, 50 seconds, a whole entire minute, but they don't ring the bell? But in a championship match between one of the all-time greats and the current champ right now, you're going to ring the bell in like 9 seconds because that's how fast it went. And there was no explanation at first. I was totally confused of what was going on until the announcer started saying, oh, they rang the bell because there's a count out. Nobody knew what the hell was going on and what was the deals, but all of a sudden the bell was rang once they came out the ring, and that was supposed to be the finish, I guess, to begin with. And I was just hoping that on the second biggest show of the year, there wouldn't be no DQs, there wouldn't be no countouts. There would just be straight conclusions to matches. So I had Randy Orton winning this. Not because I'm a Randy Orton fan, just because my main reason was I believed going into Survivor Series, they usually pit the Universal Champ versus the World Champ and have them two go head to head. So I didn't believe they wanted to do a match. I was assuming Brock would keep the strap on his end, and then they didn't want to do a Kofi versus Brock match. So they wanted to do more like a Randy Orton versus Brock Part 2 from SummerSlam a few years back. That would be more of a marquee match. So that's why I had Randy winning it in my predictions. Ugly match. A lot of it was off a few times, but it was still mesh. But the ending was just totally wrong, totally messed up. Randy was looking at his family and kind of taunting his family, but I didn't like that part. I think that was something they didn't have to bring families in. I hate when they bring families in and all this other stuff. It makes Randy look contradictory too. I remember a few years back in some Survivor Series when Shane McMahon got knocked out, like legitly, and then Randy ran down there and consoled his son and everything at the ringside, and then now Randy's being a dick to Kofi's family, so it kind of makes it look contradictory or whatever. I prefer that I kept the families out, keep it just a blood feud between the two of them, let them go at it, whatever, and make a conclusive decision on, hey, Kofi either won outright or Randy won outright. Is they trying to protect the two of them? And when trying to protect the two, it made the two of them look stupid, in my opinion. Crowd didn't like it. Crowd was yelling bullshit, this is stupid, all this other stuff, and rightfully so. They deserve that, and that was the only stinker that night, because this was a good pay-per-view. From start to finish, this was a good pay-per-view, except for the Kofi Kingston Randy Orton match. I give that thumbs down. If I was able to rate this or whatever, I had a rating system, I might start doing that, by the way. But that's the first, I don't want to say L, because who could predict a count out? I predict either win or lose. I don't predict count outs or disqualifications or anything, win or lose. And I had Randy winning, so nobody won. So so far, I guess I'm still perfect because I already had all the matches correct. Now moving on, let's go to a Bray match. Finn Balor versus Mr. Wyatt, the Fiend. We knew this was gonna be a squash. It is what it is. It was a squash. All we all came to see was the entrance, the presentation, the delivery of the Fiend. And we got more than we bargained for. We got more than we expected. I know me personally, I got way more than I expected. So, boom. Finn came out all dressed in all white. He was the holy. He's the good. Of course, he's going against the ultimate evil in WWE. Besides the Undertaker, when Undertaker was in his mean phase, this is probably the ultimate evil ever in WWE. So, the Fiend is there. The Fiend came out. I wanted to know what music he was gonna come out with. He came out with his own music, but in a heavy metal themed, and it was kind of dope. It was kind of I like it. I don't lie. I do play wrestling songs in my playlist when I'm working out, so it just gets you pumped or whatever. Like you're actually making the entrance or whatever. That might be one that might be in my playlist soon. He had a lantern that he normally comes out with, and he brought back some old Bray Wyatt stuff, but with a little twisted, a little darker twisted, everything. And he had some old Bray Wyatt stuff. He had pretty much Bray's head, dreads included and all, as the lantern, like got decapitated, and that's kind of creepy. And it had the light coming out through the mouth, so that's kind of like, it's dope. It's creepy. It's morbid. I like it. It's different. I didn't expect that. His attire was cool. He came in. I didn't know how he was gonna wrestle. I knew he was gonna wrestle with the mask. I had a feeling he was. It just makes sense. I didn't know if he was gonna keep the jacket on. I was like, nah, it's gonna be too hot in there. You gotta take that jacket off, man. So he took the jacket off and showed off the tats, showed off the guns and everything, and then dismantled. I mean, Finn got a little offense in, but for the most part, he beat Balor to a pulp. He did his new move where he kind of like twist the neck, broke the neck. I'm like, that's dangerous. You don't want kids to see that and start doing that same shit and end up killing each other. I don't know if it's possible, but you could end up with a severely injured neck. He finished him off with a mandible claw. Yeah, I guess so. That's his move now. He got it from Mankind. Not even Mick Foley. He got it from Mankind. I would have loved to see a match between The Fiend versus Mankind. I would love to see that, but he got the mandible claw from Mankind, and he choked out Finn Balor. And now you've seen two old moves from the past on two of the biggest stars in the game right now. You've seen KO with the stunner, and you've seen The Fiend with the mandible claw. So bravo, man. That takes me back to my the Attitude era and my heyday when I was watching wrestling. When I was a lot more growing up watching it. All right, moving on to the last match, and I just want to say, Fiend, strap the rocker in the back of his back and just let him go with it. Put the belt on him or something. Just give him, don't stand in his way. No L's, all wins going through. Let him be on a winning streak till WrestleMania, and then take on somebody, Aleister Black or somebody, and just keep it moving, man. I like that presentation. Definitely dope. All right, let's move on to the last match. So I got the Bray Wyatt one correct too also, by the way. Last match is Universal title. Brock versus Seth. Last match of the night. Brock had the belt for a month now. He got it at Extreme Rules last month. And going into this, I had Brock retaining. I thought he was going to be a champ going into the Survivor Series. Maybe pass that to Royal Rumble or something. Maybe lose at Mania again. Put somebody over. But it was 3 curb stomps. And definitely no low blows this time. Thank God. I'm glad he won it on legit moves. And 3 curb stomps to take down the Beast, and that's it. Brock lost clean, and Seth looked like a superstar, looked like a megastar. And I mean, he was down. His stock was down for the last few weeks, but it looked like it could be on his way back up if they repackage him, and not repackage him, but rebuild him correctly. And I think last night was the start of that. What they do now with Brock, who knows? But I know right now it's looking good for Seth. And whatever his next feud is, I will definitely hope it's something decent. A lot better, and like remove him from the Baron Corbins of the world and the Brock Lesnar's of the world. It was a good match. He took an awesome bump off the jumping off the post of the ring onto the table where Brock was laying on the Spanish announce table. And it was Brock brought it in with the F5s and German suplexes, but for the most part, Seth flipped out of like two of them. He hit him with the curb stomp, hit him with the curb stomp, and hit him with the curb stomp again, and he retained that. He got that belt now, and he's the champ now. So definitely a good pay-per-view, good match at the end. Definitely saved the pay-per-view. The last two matches, The Fiend and Seth Rollins, from that stinker that Kofi and Randy threw out there, to make this hell of a SummerSlam. I went to SummerSlam last year in Brooklyn when it was here in New York. I would rate this SummerSlam that just passed a little bit better than the one that I attended in Brooklyn. Even though I saw when Becky did a heel turn, but yeah, I give this one. So if I had to rate this one from 1 to 10, I give this a solid, hard, strong 8. I was gonna say 7.5 definitely, but I give it an 8. And WWE, you're on the roll right now. A few good Raws, the here and there good SmackDown, 2 good pay-per-views so far last 2 months. Keep it up. You got some competition coming in October, and I'm a WWE fan and then a wrestling fan, so I would like to see WWE do good. A lot of fans are jumping off the bandwagon WWE because of the product, but when WWE is doing good, all of wrestling is doing good. So that means everybody else is going to step their game up. And WWE is going to step their game up if everybody else is stepping their game up. So WWE, we need you to still do good. I don't want to see the product being trashed and being shitty. Just keep it up. I like the run that you're going on. Hopefully next pay-per-view, Clash of Champs, I think is coming up in September 15th. I want to go to the New York show in Madison Square Garden, but I won't be able to go to it this year. But hopefully the next few pay-per-views are just as good. All right? This was your 2019 WWE SummerSlam review by you, not your boy, by your guy, Devrell Davis. Hitting you up, right? So if you want to know anything more, if you like what you just heard, like what you see in this channel, I have many other things I do in this channel. Definitely leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment, and I'll try to answer if possible, all right? I'm your boy, Devrell Davis. Peace.